episode of the Words for the Journey podcast, I want to just say a few things about a new sermon series we're starting this coming Sunday at the end of April. In the midst of this pandemic, we want to ask some questions on Sunday mornings in terms of why is this happening, or why is God allowing this to happen? What is God doing? Where is God in this COVID-19 pandemic? And these are questions that people in the church are asking. These are questions that others are asking, and they always seem to come specifically when there's struggles or trials or challenges in our lives or the lives of others. And these are human questions, right? Human beings are those who ask questions like this. And so we want to spend some Sunday mornings together in our Zoom services trying to ask the questions, allow those questions to kind of sit there for a little while, and then what does the Bible have to say about these questions? And I'm hoping you'll join us Sunday mornings just to think about those questions and allow the Bible, kind of verse by verse or passage by passage as we look at it, to shed some light on these questions. My conviction is that it's difficult to find one verse or one passage or even one book in the Bible that will answer all our questions that we have in times of trial and struggle and challenge. What we need is the whole Bible. Now, we're not going to look at the whole Bible during these Sunday morning services, but we want to look at a number of passages, each one shedding some truth, some light, some perspective on these questions. The Bible is a book of hope, a book of grace, a book of love, a book of mercy. It is the mercy and grace of God shown to us specifically through Jesus Christ. But it's not mostly a book of hope and grace and love. And by that I mean, if you read the stories of the Bible, you have those stories, those moments of hope and grace and love, but you have lots of stories of pain, lots of stories of struggle, lots of stories of people who are in the abyss, or they are in a disaster, or their lives seem to be coming to an end. So right from the beginning, the story of Adam and Eve, the story of their sons Cain and Abel, the story of Noah and the flood, people like Abraham, Jacob, Joseph, Ruth and Naomi, David, King David, especially when he's being chased by King Saul before David becomes the king, the book of Psalms, the book of Jeremiah, so many prophets as they talk about the exile of God's people, and then especially in the New Testament, the life of Jesus, who comes full of grace and truth, who comes as the embodiment of God's love, but he's known in the Bible, but also in Christian history, as the man of sorrows. So he's not the man who has it all together, who's everything is going fine for him. He's actually the man who's experiencing a lot of pain in his life, and especially on the cross. And I highlight that because the Bible comes to us with some answers, with some perspective on our questions, but it comes to us like a really human story, a really human book. A lot of pain, a lot of struggle. And as we begin this coming Sunday, I want us to hear that the book of hope set in a lot of pain. And what is the Bible saying to us in this time as we think about this global pandemic? Where is God during COVID-19?